hair in complete disarray, eyes still heavy with sleep, and a small pout on her lips. She hasn't even gotten out of her pajamas. Oh my god, I'm gonna see Isabella in her pajamas. This is good for me. I'm okay with this. Ash, you look away. You save yourself for Rebecca. This is for me. This is me time. Do it! Do it, you bitch! Greetings, my beautiful viewers. I am the Hunter of Comedy, and welcome back to The Letter. So, last time, I failed at a minigame a couple of times, got Rebecca super murdered, but then I unsuper murdered her, found my way back to the land of the living, and then switched to Ashton. And now we're we're starting Ashton late in the game. Like, he started on like the 28th. Seriously, like, there's a lot of time. I mean, like, I thought some of the other characters, like Zach, started late, but dude, he started way late. And it seems that, because I didn't comment on this last time, I think I will now. It definitely seems that Ashton has a bit of a personal vendetta in this case, not only just being assigned to it, but he's also discovering that, you know, the reason he's not made enough progress is because even his own boss might be caught up in whatever he's trying to, like, uncover. And that Luke Wright might be responsible for some murders, or may have paid someone else off in order to have a murder committed. Now, we don't know if this is true or not. Personally, I don't know if Luke is that type of person yet. He seems like a douchebag, but we'll find out when we play as him if it's actually true or not. But until then, I'm gonna keep the jury, say the jury's out on that for now. Either way, let's get back into this because we have to not piss off Rebecca. That is our job right now. Oh, how do I even do this? I think that stretching the truth is the best solution, because then I'm giving her an answer, not the whole truth, but enough so that she's satisfied. No! No! Okay, hold on. Hold on. I am sorry. I have to know. I'm sorry, guys. I have to know. If I say the other thing, is that better?
It's confidential, Rebecca.
Why? Why is that better? I thought that everyone got pissed when he said it's confidential. Oh my god. Okay. Okay. God damn it. I just got back in good graces with Ashton. I do not want bad things to happen. I am having the moral dilemma of a Let's Player. I am having the moral dilemma of a Let's Player of, do I, now that I know, do I go with my initial idea or insist it's confidential? Because I thought that this would be the thing that wouldn't piss her off. I'm trying to make her happy. I am trying. We're on thin ice, man! Why do you have a gun? Never mind. You're a cop. Of course you have a gun. Why did I even think that? But... I don't want to piss off Rebecca! But I've stood by. Apart from that one thing with Zach, where, I didn't understand what I was saying when I picked it, I haven't gone back on any of my decisions. Oh, I feel like I'm having a moment. I feel like I'm having that moment that, I don't know how many of you watch Markiplier, but I mean, like, Markiplier played a game called, Until Dawn. And in that game, you had to restart the whole game if you, like, made a wrong choice. But, I'm having that moment where I'm like, no! No, I want Becca to be happy with me! I want Becca to be happy with me, so I'm gonna choose this! Because it seems like the best option. And you know what? I'm sorry that I'm not taking my original choice, because I thought this would make her happy. I was misled! I was told that him saying it's confidential pissed her off. So of course I thought this would be better. I'm gonna insist
It's confidential, Rebecca.
I'm gonna insist it's confidential! Because I don't want to take the chance! I'm not backing down from this decision. I don't care how much you guys say a pussy I am! I don't care! I want them to be happy and make babies! I'm gonna do the thing that's happy! Yeah. But I'm gonna do my best to, like, follow through with my decisions from now on, because I am too far into this game to, like, not, like, be at a good spot right now. God, he's good with everyone right now, so yeah! Yeah, we're good. We good, fam, we good. I wonder how many times I've told her that. And not just her. My dad, my mom, Zach, and even Isabella. How many times have I told them what essentially boiled down to mind your own business, to make sure they're all safe, to keep them out of danger? My job isn't a game. It isn't as glamorous as the TV portrays it to be. I thought so too as a child. I was so clueless back then, wasn't I? But boy did I learn. The good guys don't always win. Justice isn't always served. Investigation is not looking at a crime once you get a eureka moment. It's sleepless nights at the crime lab with the tech guys. It's several days wearing the same clothes with Chinese takeout stains because I'm sticking out of place. It's frustration when the bureaucracy hinders you from looking into a case any further, or when you know the suspect is guilty, but they get away scot-free on a technicality. It's seeing anger and pain and despair with every case.
I know you have a mountain of questions, but I've told you this so many times before. I can't say much more than that.
Still, the look on Rebecca's face, the resentment and the pain, it hurts me as well to think I'm the cause of it. It's a familiar one, too. Something I've seen a lot over the years. I wonder how long it'll take before Zach starts giving me the same one. Until I've hurt Isabella in a way that any insincere apology won't ever be enough. What a mess. I'm a mess. It's the people close to me who have to suffer for it.
I guess, if that's the case, there's nothing much I can do about it. You're off being a hero, I guess? And I shouldn't rag on you for that.
I feel like that this should be different. I feel like she should be more upset about this and not about the fact of, like, he's actually giving her answers. God, like, why? The game, that doesn't make sense. That's the first time I'm gonna be like, game, you're not making sense. I can never get used to how quick she just forgives me for whatever shitty thing I do. Zach and Isabella, too. They've all been patient with me, unlike I with them. I don't deserve any of them for the kind of person I've turned out to be.
I'm hardly a hero, Becca. I'm just ash.
Ash in the wind. I expect a retort, another one laced with bitterness. Instead, she laughs. Half-hearted, with barely a hint of cheer in it, but it's a laugh nonetheless. I honestly don't know what to make of that, what to do with myself upon hearing it. It's almost like the mere sound of it is meant to pierce.
The least you could have done is tell me. Maybe I could have helped, kept an ear and an eye out for you. I don't know. I could have been Irene Adler, maybe?
Her smile doesn't quite reach her eyes, but the mask... She tries so hard for me. I give her a smile of my own, though I imagine it comes off as unenthusiastic as hers. It's far easier to slip back to banter when it's like this, to just brush off everything. At least that way we wouldn't have to deal with awful things.
The woman? Don't flatter yourself. Nancy Blue, more like.
Her sidekick would beg to differ, Ashton.
I couldn't stop a wry grin from forming in my lips. She probably still holds the photo from that contest, keeping it in her old diary. I never did find either of the two after I threatened to burn them. In the end, I just never brought it up again, when she'd just forget about the whole thing. What is this about? Some kind of a contest and a photo she has, like an embarrassing photo of him? Oh, that's adorable! But the small smile on her face says a lot. Those were good times. A lot simpler. A lot more peaceful. Now things have changed. We're no longer the same people we were as kids. Growing up together doesn't mean it always has to be just the two of us in the first place. It's a dumb notion to believe in, but when nothing ever remains constant, things will inevitably change through the years. In fact, it already has, not long ago. Not just with the people we allow into our respective lives, but also with us, as people, as friends. It really does get complicated as we get older, doesn't it? Not everything has to be, though. Even if it's in the form of a promise I have no idea when I'll be able to fulfill.
I swear, I'll explain when it's all over.
The silence afterward brings an even heavier air between us. Something that Rebecca, thankfully, doesn't allow to linger more than necessary.
I suppose you have to go now, huh?
The situation's already awkward as it is. Dragging this out will only make it worse. Make it more... what? Difficult? Messed up? As if it isn't already. You know what you should do? Ashton, I know you're not going to listen to me, like the weird little baritone voice in your head, but you know what you should do? You should take her back to her apartment, cook her a nice breakfast, and then just get naked in front of her. Just see what happens. Maybe you'll have sex, maybe you won't, but you know what? You'll have done something productive with your day, because at this point, I'm not sure what you're going to do today because you're taking the weekend off, remember? God, take your weekend off and get on top of getting with her. Come on, bro. I want this so bad right now. I'm shipping them so hard right now.
Back to your case again?
I don't really have to. I have no case. As far as the job is concerned, I have the weekend off until I have to report to Chief on Monday. Though I don't want to just throw in the towel on this. Orders are orders. This isn't like the movies. I don't get to say fuck off, throw my gun and badge at him and become some vigilante, save the day and get my job back. I'd rather get my ass thrown in jail than do any of that. But it's also not in my nature to sit still and do nothing. It'll drive me crazy if I just idle about. Besides, there's someone who has to know about this whole thing. Luke Wright thing.
Yeah, I need to go talk to Professor Clark. And there's something else I need to look into.
That other matter she mentioned last night, specifically. Things even the news have been blasting out to the general populace lately. Evening, afternoon, morning, all the deaths with the same modus, blamed on a single serial killer. Or is it the same case?
Found dead in the early hours of the morning today. The fire was contained within the room and no other tenants were harmed, according to Luxbourne police.
We're grasping at straws as far as these murders are concerned. In the first place, I'm not even the one heading this investigation, yet look at me treating as if it's another high-profile case on my shoulder. How sad is that? Although all three of my friends have mentioned seeing something strange, I don't want to go into that line of thinking for now. Not yet. Not until I've exhausted every single logical argument I can throw at it. To be honest, though, I don't know how to take all of this anymore. But I've already given Isabella my word. It'd bother me more if I didn't follow up on the promise I made to her. And after Rebecca's claims last night, there won't be enough sarcasm in the world if what my friends have been saying to me is true. I can already hear Isabella's laughter, in fact.
Figures. What else can it be?
It's not another case. It's something else. That issue Isabella mentioned yesterday morning. I'm sure you remember. You were there.
Well, at least you're not neglecting all your friends.
Becca, I promised her I'll...
She doesn't wait for me to finish. With a roll of her eyes, she turns and shuts the door in my face. You have lost your chance to get in the bone zone, dude, and I am not proud of you. I have no idea what I've said this time, but...
I probably deserve that.
You do! You do deserve that. You're a douche. Not like a Luke kind of douche, but you're like a neglectful kind of douche. We'll just have to fix this some other time. By then, her temper's sure to have cooled off significantly. Rebecca confronted Ashton about what happened at the party the night before. Unable to tell her any details, the latter simply admitted it was confidential. Although Rebecca accepted this, her displeasure remained evident on her face. Well, that's coming up next. Hopefully. For now, I can't laze around. Gotta attend to things that matter more. Professor Clark first, deliver the bad news. Then that issue with the BRC and Isabella. Maybe I'll also drop by Zach's, check on him, hear what he has to say. He has also read that damn letter. I might as well, while I'm here, playing a paranormal detective? Or was it supernatural? I can't remember. Whatever. Wouldn't hurt anyone if I try to get to the bottom of this. If nothing comes out of this, good. Everyone can shut up about stupid curses and we can finally get back on track with our lives. On to more important stuff. If there is something...
Are you two done?
There's a moment of confusion when I don't see her familiar ponytail about, only to find her standing behind the door to her apartment seconds later. Isabella holds it open, though only slightly, as if to hide from anyone who might happen to pass by. This early, and on a lazy weekend? I doubt anyone would. But from the gap and what little light there is behind her, I can make out the appearance of someone who has just clearly gotten out of bed. Hair in complete disarray, eyes still heavy with sleep, and a small pout on her lips. She hasn't even gotten out of her pajamas. Oh my god, I'm gonna see Isabella in her pajamas. This is good for me. I'm okay with this. Ash, you look away. You save yourself for Rebecca. This is for me. This is me time. Do it! Do it, you bitch! I look away before my sense of decorum kicks in. Good job! Let me see, however. Please do this. We might be friends. I'll even dare say we've grown closer over the years. That doesn't extend beyond the bounds of propriety. Sorry. Christ, even Rebecca never greets early morning visitors in her sleep clothes. Though maybe it's our fault why she's up this early. Still, the heat makes a slow crawl up my neck, one that I quickly downplay with a solid cough.
Isabella, you're up early.
Lame.
No, I'm not. I'm usually up at this hour. You're the one that usually sucks at getting up early.
Says the person who looks like she's just fallen out of bed.
Instead of the usual quip, she simply averts her gaze to some point beside her, and although it only flashes briefly across her face, an expression of hurt flickers in her eyes. It disappears the second she turns her attention back to me, but that moment has sent a worried tinge in my stomach. I've seen it on her plenty of times before, just never in a manner that unsettles. It feels, I don't know, off this time. I didn't say anything wrong, did I? Yeah, you did. You're questioning, like, why she just woke up when you clearly woke her up, douchebag.
Hey, are you...
Anyway, was that Becca with you? You both sound like Mama and Papa when they fight. You're awfully loud.
Yeah, I like that. That's good.
If we get another memo from the landlady, I'm asking the guard to ban you from ever entering this place.
Oh, they have a guard. Good.
Me? Becca's the one almost shouting.
Yeah, well, she lives here. You don't. You have no excuse. You're the suspicious-looking person.
This is true.
Thanks. Glad at least one person appreciates how I pretty up this place.
Don't flatter yourself. This place would be so much better without having to see your face every few days.
She follows it up with another pout. But her ruffled appearance, particularly how puffy her eyes are, I just now notice, takes away from the intimidating effect she's trying to show. Really, just now, she looks more like an angry puppy. She does! She's adorable! I might have laughed had it not given me another nagging sense that something is definitely wrong with her. What? Has she been crying earlier? That is worrying. She rarely does that. The only time it happened? One time I've seen her genuinely tear up over something. I think it was after Devlin Court. The night at the bridge? I don't know what happened. I want to ask. She seems determined to keep it to herself, though.
Belle, did something?
About yesterday, Ash. The things we talked about. Do you think we can take a look at it today?
We? I never said you're coming with me. Don't worry, I didn't forget about it. You'll be the first to know if I find anything.
No, I want to go with you. I'll be ready in a few. This won't take long.
Isabella, you really don't have to. I can handle it on my own. You'll just...
I won't get in the way, I promise. Besides, maybe I can help. You know, if there are files you want to check.
I don't like what she's implying. I like what she's implying. She's smart. It's true, LPD's having a hard time with this. But taking Isabella with me? It's out of the question. Under normal circumstances.
You're the one who's going to get in trouble if you do that.
You said it yourself. You need information, and I can help you get that. And it's not like it matters anymore. I just don't want to stand around doing nothing today.
There it is again. The slight shift in her eyes, the mild crease forming between her eyebrows, and the wild slump in her shoulders while she crosses her arms tightly around herself. Like she's shielding herself from whatever painful thing there is out there. I have plenty of reasons why I shouldn't let her tag along. First and foremost, she's a civilian. Second, I have no concrete plan of action yet. I'm going into this blind. No matter how I look at it, it's simply better for her to just wait so she won't be dragged into what might be another one of my failures. Her assumptions might be a dead end for all we know. But seeing that expression on her face, hearing her speak those words out loud, in a desperate, almost pleading tone, I can't bring myself to say no. So I give in, because right there, I see myself in her. The person who doesn't want to stay idle, who doesn't want to think of the problems haunting him.
All right, 5 minutes.
What? You're timing me?
Well, I can't wait forever. I'm a very busy guy. 4 minutes and 45 seconds, Isabella.
I hate you so much. I'm taking back what I said last week. You haven't changed at all.
4 minutes and 30 seconds, 29, 28. I'd hurry if I were you.
Ugh, you're awful. I hope you never get a girlfriend.
Isabella, I want him to hook up with your neighbor. I want him to hook up with Rebecca. Do not fuck this up for me. No. Rebecca is best girl. You're the adorable cinnamon roll. Adorable cinnamon rolls need to just, I almost said learn their place, but that's not what I mean. Adorable cinnamon rolls just need to stay protected and stay safe. Because, dear God, she is adorable. She slams the door right after. Oh, although my chuckles, the mirth and the lightness in it, linger. With her, those have always come easier somehow, even if its echoes fade and only the ghost of a smile remains.
It's not like I'm looking for anyone else.
I knew it! I want to tell her. It's not because I can't. I won't. I'm the one who has chosen not to. Until I fix myself. Till I found myself underneath all that guilt and the lies that I've been telling all these years. No matter how heavy the weight of those feelings are, I am not yet worthy of them. Of her. Until then, little words and gestures are the only things I can offer. Minor stuff, such as digging deeper into this thing with BRC in order to ease her worries. Not even sure if this will give us anything. Unlike the firm case, which I already have proper leads on, I'm just going on her word on this. Speaking of the Luxburn firm case, I still have to inform the professor. The apprehension's there, sure. Made a lot of promises to the man. I would prefer to tell him in person, not over the phone. But it's better for him to hear from me rather than from a stranger. The railing offers a steady support while I wait for him to answer. I'd like to think I can do this without losing my nerve. My grip on the bar surely tightens, though, once the call connects.
Ashton!
Not running today, Professor?
He's usually at the park on late Saturday mornings, as long as it isn't raining cats and dogs. Keeps him young and healthy, he says. He's certainly fit for a man his age with a sedentary job.
Oh, no, not today.
He's definitely at the usual place, though. Cheers and laughter, likely from children and families, filter through the receiver. I tend to avoid the park precisely because of this. No use reminding myself of the could-haves when it's already over. Mom's doing well with her career. Dad's also fine the last time I visited. Although neither remarried, they're both content with their lives as it is. I'm probably the only one still caught up with it, hence my aversion. But all in all, it's still a pleasant sight to see. If you're the kind who takes joy in such sights like Professor Clark does. Yeah, he mentioned his parents getting divorced, and I mean, I went through that. My parents got a divorce when I was a kid. I've talked about it before. It's not fun, but, you know, I am the person I am today because of that, and while it wasn't exactly the happiest times, it definitely opened my eyes to things really early when I was a kid, and it was a reason I had to mature very quickly when I was a kid. So yeah, it never really goes away. You forget about it, but, I mean, what it does to someone, what it makes them into, never really goes away. And honestly, it's not always negative. It was sad, certainly, but for me it wasn't negative. My family's happier than they've ever been, so yeah, that's just sometimes how it works.
Just thought I'd enjoy the nice weather before it takes a turn for the norm again. To what do I owe the pleasure?
Finally, someone commenting on how the weather is nice! Dear God, everyone was talking about how horrible the weather is! Thank you, sir! The guy clearly seems happy right now. In any case, I almost don't want to break the news to him. But it's better to get this off quick as long as he doesn't shoot the messenger. He's not the type. However, long-held resentment can change a person, even someone as mild-mannered as the professor.
I was hoping to talk to you about the case.
Suppose I'm just a downer today. As soon as I say those words, he pauses, and the lightness in his voice is gone in an instant. Every time we talked about this in the past, he does that. He's probably trying to gauge the situation based on the tone of my voice. Perhaps it's a good thing I'm delivering the news through the phone. Who knows what he'll see in my face and my mannerisms. The art of keen observation? I learned it from him. He probably already has an idea what this is about, from my manner of speaking alone. I didn't check this one, sorry. Oh, we're actually seeing Isabella in her sleeping clothes. She wears sheep pajamas. How adorable. She looks like a little girl there. She doesn't look like an adult woman. She's adorable. Disrupted by the ruckus outside her unit, Isabella reprimands Ashton for the noise. The latter noted her disheveled appearance and puffy eyes, although before he could ask about it, she brought up the issue with BRC again, and insisted they look into it that night.
You aren't in trouble, are you?
For a second, I hesitate, looking at the dirt beneath my shoes. But I manage eventually, after a long, ragged breath of air, I pick up where I left off, though still fumbling with my words.
Well, I'm in a bit of trouble, if you can call it that.
Ashton!
He only assumes that tone when there's a reprimand at his heels.
But I'm not in danger or anything.
You've said that same excuse a million times before, Detective Inspector. That exhausted rasp in your voice tells a different story.
It's nothing like what you're thinking. Don't worry. I was taken off the Luxborn firm case.
I expect anger, frustration, maybe even disappointment. But all he gives me is a mere sigh of relief.
Is that so? Well, at least you aren't in danger. Liz wouldn't be too happy if she heard you right now.
Liz. Aunt Liz, she insisted I call her, his late wife. A sweet-tempered woman by so many standards. They were never blessed with kids and contented herself with simply managing their bakery. She's the closest thing I had to a mom in the few years I had known her. The professor, too. Wow, you see him as your mom? Interesting. In the absence of my own parents in life, the two filled the ache their divorce left in me.
Believe me, you'd get an earful. You don't want to show up on her doorstep looking like you haven't slept a wink either.
How many years has it been? 9? 10? I can still remember it vividly. Two men, primly dressed, briefcases in hand, and a stern look on their faces. They were already frequent visitors to the bakery for a few months, something about the lot being a prime property in downtown Luxborn. I think they were hoping to settle a deal with them, but neither of the couple gave in to their demands. Why should they? That quaint little shop was a dream for them. Aunt Liz sent me home early that night after a fruitless wait for the professor. Next morning, news of the bakery razed to the ground had spread across the whole city. One casualty. A few weeks later, the property was sold to Wright Enterprise. A fucking hotel now stands in its place. Of course, an investigation was launched after the incident. The name Luke Wright was briefly at the center of it. With the lack of evidence, the case ultimately went cold. The professor hides it well. However, I can tell he hates that man to this day. He might even blame Luke Wright for every tragedy that happens in the city. He's never blamed me, though, when I'm as equally responsible. I knew something's off the moment those men stepped inside the shop. I could have saved her that night. I could have prevented anything from happening to her, called for help or whatever. I didn't. So it continues to eat at me until today. The guilt. The Luxborn firm case would have been our chance at reopening that old case, if we could prove Luke Wright of his crimes. Instead, we're back to square one. Yet, all he has for me are words of comfort. To think he can still be this concerned about me, after my carelessness, after I've broken another promise a second time. People never cease to amaze me.
You might think that you have failed as an officer. Or maybe you think that you have failed me. And you know more than anyone. I would love to see that man taken down. If anyone deserves to be tried in high court, it's him. But I'm glad nothing's happened to you while you were working on this. That's what's most important. I'd hate to get news like that again.
Suddenly he stops. I imagine a thoughtful look flashing in his eyes as he thumbs the wedding band on his ring finger before he continues. Another habit. He has never removed it since that day. He has never thought once to remarry. Even when he managed to continue with his life and returned to some semblance of normalcy. His way of honoring her, I suppose. When he couldn't bring justice to the man responsible for his loss. Some people are just hard to forget.
It's not like another death. Yours or even his will bring back my wife.
Silence falls between us afterwards. I don't quite know what to say after that, really. Should I apologize? Should I show sympathy? Going into this, I should have thought of something other than just breaking the news to him. As it is, it seems the only thing we can do is feel sorry for each other's misfortunes.
I apologize too, for putting you up to
In another occasion, under different circumstances, I might have accepted that. But
You didn't have to, but you've already done more than any officer who has investigated this. So don't worry about this, old man. I know your department's people all have their hands full recently, too. What with the upsetting news we've been getting as of late. Deaths almost every day. I'm not entirely sure if that has anything to do with the other. It seems too big even for someone like him. But if this is that man's doing...
Professor, please.
maybe if things around me hadn't started going beyond my control. The letter, the mansion, the supposed curse behind those, I'd still be quick to blame it all on the bastard too. But as much as I want to keep holding him responsible for it, to add another to his list of sins, it might not be the case. Agreeing will only cut a deeper wound on the professor. I don't want him to keep clinging to this resentment for much longer. He's already gone through so many years of it. This kind of anger, it's the sort that blinds people. Despite his reassurances, the bitterness still seeps into every syllable he utters. It's one thing for me to act like this. It's painful to watch someone I've considered a second father go down this path.
Please don't apologize. It's really all right. I can try to get it back on Monday when I meet with the chief. No promises, but if not, I'll make sure to keep an ear out for any news. Chief said he's passing it on to a senior officer. I should be able to catch a few tidbits every once in a while, but I swear I won't just give up on this. I'll do everything in my power to get Aunt Liz's case reopened for you.
Promises. Again. A bad habit at this point. I wish I could do more for him. All the same, I've prided myself over being the one to always know. Because suddenly, aside from Wright and the murders plaguing the city, I have ghosts and curses to worry about, things that are completely out of my depth. Professor Clark's right in some way. Things would be so much easier if we just blamed Luke Wright for all this. At least finding evidence would be a breeze, and I'd be all too happy to put him in a place he belongs. Although, if he was anyway, also complicit to what's happening, legalities have my hands tied. But maybe that's my fault. I might have missed the ticket to closing this case once and for all last night. If only I had done a better job during the party. But then the commotion. There was Hannah Wright and Rebecca distracting me from my purpose too. I'd included that gate crasher as well, even though it was only for a moment. So many things have gone wrong last night that...
This isn't a prank! I saw something!
Oh! He's putting two and two together.
See? This is why I didn't want to tell you guys. It's not a joke. Will you guys listen to me first? I saw something in the house earlier. It stood right in front of me. If I hadn't gotten away, that thing might have...
Last night, at the party.
But it's real! What do you think I saw? It happened after, when I was trying to get away. I almost got stuck in the same room with that thing. We're all in danger. I thought you were my friends. Why don't you believe me?
That woman.
Why don't we all calm down first? I'm sure Isabella has her reasons too. No need to be hard on her.
Shit. If that was what Isabella had been warning us about, if that was the same thing Rebecca talked about last night, how many of those instances have I dismissed since reading the letter? How many have I ignored and passed off as some effect of fatigue or lack of sleep? Even last night, hallucinogen lacing the food is the first thing I considered, purely because that's what my training dictates. It's a mindset I've grown used to. It's the setting the gears in my head automatically takes in a situation like that. Of course, I'm not discounting all of that yet, until I have enough information, something to form a conclusion from. Proof, in whatever form it may come. But thinking straight is impossible when all of a sudden all your beliefs are being upturned, in the most violent way possible at that. Jesus, I need a sounding board. I need to talk to someone, and Zach's the best person for that.
I have to go, Professor.
Oh, no problem. But what are you...
I don't have time to stop and listen to whatever the professor has to say, as I cut the call short. In the same second, Isabella emerges from her apartment, fully dressed and ready for the day. As usual, she greets me with a smile, but it follows just as fast once she catches a glimpse on my face. Shame. It would have been the first comforting thing I see today. It annoys me that I am partially responsible for the worried one replacing it. I must look close to a picture of someone choking or dying, because there's nothing but concern in her first words she speaks.
Ash, are you... Do you need to go to the bathroom?
Yeah, no, I don't, okay. But we should hurry. Come on, don't forget to lock your door.
No, maybe. I don't know anymore. Okay, so what more did we learn? Oh, and that leads to there. Nice. While waiting for Isabella, Ashton called Professor Andrew Clark to inform him of his dismissal from the Luxburn firm case. While Andrew assured him that it was fine, the detective promised to keep an eye on the case. However, a realization cut the conversation short. Yeah, Ash is finally starting to get it! The team is coming together, guys! We're pulling the team together! Avengers assemble, bitch!
Seriously, you look like you're about to fall over.
I know, it's fine. I'm used to it.
Are you alright? Because if you're planning to faint right here, I won't be able to carry you.
You're right outside your apartment. Just drag him to Rebecca's apartment. She'll know what to do. Ha ha.
Yes, don't mind me. I just remembered some stuff from last night. I need to talk to Z-Man about this. Mind if we drop by his place first?
Shouldn't we call him? To let him know? It's still pretty early. Though we'd probably arrive there around noon. Also, what do you mean about this? Is Zach...
He was also there when I opened the letter, right? He read it too.
Oh, Ash, you're going in on this.
I'm sure he's fine, but it wouldn't hurt to check on him. To make sure. See if he'll say the same things you told me yesterday.
He's also been seeing things. It's also the same woman I saw last night.
I'm not saying there's really a curse yet, but we have to look at this from every possible angle. And don't worry, he won't mind. He's probably just watching TV right now. Let's go.
Okay, but speak up if you're not feeling well. You really look like you're choking on something. You didn't have to do this for me in the first place.
You know it's not as simple as that.
We head down to my car in record time, with not a single second wasted to hit the road and drive to Zach's place. If any one of us, other than Isabella, who knows anything about what's going on, no, that's a weird sentence, who can help sort this muddled mess in my mind is, it's got to be him. He listened to her. Zach's the kind who prefers to laze around his apartment on the weekend, especially after having a busy week like the last one. The big guy's nowhere in sight, though, when I arrive in his unit. Figures. People don't have to be where they should be when I need them. Looking around, I find no sign where he might have gone to. He usually leaves a note on his fridge if he's out for the day, just in case someone drops by. As there isn't one, he probably just went out for a quick walk. I hope. Maybe he ran out for eggs or something, and went out to buy some? He is out of eggs, after all. It puts my running mind to rest for a while. He always has to have some, be it for an omelet or something he's baking.
Ash! Should you be rummaging around? It's bad enough we went in here without asking for his permission.
Chill, I'm just looking.
Actually, I could go for a whole fucking pie right now. Zach's fridge is next to empty, save for a few leftovers. Oh, I'm hungry too now! All I can do is sigh as I close it behind me.
If you see me take anything, feel free to call the police.
Isabella's quick to shoot me a sharp glare, and another chuckle slips from me despite the unease in my stomach. But the cheer only lasts a mere few seconds, mostly because she hasn't been in the mood for any sort of friendly banter. It's the silence that's telling. And a quiet Isabella? It's usually the first recipe for the incoming shitstorm.
Do you always do this whenever you visit another person's house? Because I have a lot of questions about your methods.
Just with Zach.
I'm still worried for our friend, of course, and despite what's bothering Isabella, she's anxious too. She's been standing by the doorway for a few good minutes now, since we entered Zach's place, in fact. Doesn't seem to know what to do with herself. As much as I want to put her at ease, a nervous tick, her nervous tics are starting to get to me. The manner in which she makes herself smaller, the way she fidgets with her hands, clasping them one moment and unfurling them in the next. It's distracting enough that I want to ask what's wrong. I doubt she'll give me a straight answer, though, and the best I can do is help her temper it.
You don't have to hang around the door. We might be here for a while. You can sit down.
She hesitates for a second, but eventually takes the empty seat on Zach's study table.
Aren't we going to look for him?
Sure, we can, but where are we going to start? I can think of a few places he might be, but Luxburn's a big city. I don't want to miss the big guy if we leave, and...
I trail off, making a vague gesture in the general direction of Zach's bed. The messy bed suggests he was out in a hurry. Didn't even bother to fold the sheets. The cell phone's been left behind as well. Another odd thing when he has made it a habit to never leave it behind in case a client calls.
At least the locked door points to the fact that it wasn't a forced exit.
That seems to reassure her, but not so much. Understandable, anything might happen. In hindsight, I shouldn't have left Rebecca alone either. We'll have to check on her later. In the meantime, Zach. But with no clue where he is and no other way to contact him, we had no choice but to wait. Sure, I could give the room another thorough run, but I don't think Zach would appreciate me upending his place. Isabella won't let me do that either. Besides, I haven't eaten anything yet. Isabella probably hasn't, too. We did leave in a hurry. I might as well take this chance to cool down a bit, right? Anything to distract myself so that I don't just charge head first because of whatever paranoid scheme that comes to mind. Isabella is with me. I can't be reckless. Good, she's grounding him. Good. Yang's potato chips! It tastes like software! Returning to the kitchen, the first thing I see is a bag of chips while I rifle through his cupboards. After muttering a permission and an apology its owner won't hear, I grab it. Isabella doesn't miss shooting me another glare, but she doesn't make an effort to stop me this time. She ignores my offer of food, though. So instead, I set myself on Zach's old couch, turn on the television. Isabella's silence may not be too heavy, but it sure as hell is awkward. The screen lights up right as some awful noontime drama starts airing on Channel 9. Nothing like sitting in front of the TV with a mindless drone running in the background to waste away the day. And waste it away we do. The afternoon has hit its last hours when a movement comes from the other side of the door, and Zach's heavy treads break the monotonous drivel from the TV. The lock clicks, the knob turns, and slowly it swings open to reveal... Zach! A very exhausted-looking Zach. What, did he run a marathon?
Sup, Z-Man?
Hey, Zach. Sorry we just barged in here. Ash was...
Relax. Z-Man gave me a copy of the key himself.
Light as my tone might be, his arrival eases the restless edge in me. Who knows what I would have done if something bad happened to one of my friends. If another minute had gone by without him showing up, I might have resorted to unconventional methods.
Only after you broke the 13th one? I can't keep replacing them every time you think it'd be a good idea to break into my apartment. And stop calling me Z-Man!
Z-Man! He's listed as Z-Man.
I didn't break anything this time.
Ash, just because I gave you a key doesn't mean you can just stroll in here whenever you want to. And hey, is that my...
It's scary how the friendly banter and easy smile come naturally. I do it even without thinking, and that speaks volumes about how comfortable I am around him. That's nice, isn't it? What makes me afraid of it, however, is the idea that a time might come where I might just do these without even meaning to and offend him in some way. The friendship we have might be closer than most I've shared with others, but there are boundaries you can't cross without the other's permission. Zach's been respectful of that so far, neither asking about my parents or what happened to them. Me? I bet he'd say not so much. It's also this easy banter that makes me wish we could just stay like this. No worries, no problems, just potato chips and the debate on whether or not I deserve them. But as usual, something always cuts moments like this short.
Of course he eats all of it. You know, I was saving that for the weekend. Did you at least share some with Bella?
Don't worry about it. I'm good, Zach.
Really? It's free food, you know? What was that you usually say? You don't say no to free food? What happened?
No, I'm just not hungry.
Although her tone forces him to do a double take, Zach doesn't push it. The question's all too clear in his eyes when he glances my way, though. I really wish I could answer him, despite my best efforts. Isabella's unforthcoming as well. What am I supposed to do? I can't just force her to speak, can I? She's not a criminal to be interrogated. She's a friend, for Pete's sake. You could roll for persuasion? I don't know how that works in your world, but dear God. We made a joke about that, me and my D&D friends, like when you go to buy a car, imagine you just go with a bunch of nice, like, okay, sir, I have modifiers to my charisma because of this job I worked and everything, so I have rolled a 24. Beat that, sir. And, like, you know, just imagine, like, the guy rolls and it's like, oh, I got a 17. Doesn't beat a 24. How much off that car do I get? You get it half price, sir. Hell yeah! Oh god, it'd be nice if the world functioned on D&D rules. But then again, I could also fuck you over because when you roll a 1, bad things happen. We do not want to roll a 1 in this game. We do not want to roll a 1. It's a good thing Zach has a better handle on the situation than I, and soon enough, he changes the subject. Where it leads to isn't necessarily the better topic, however.
Aye. But if you want something, just say so. I've got a fully restocked pantry right here at your disposal. Still not a 5-star level thing, but for an empty stomach, it'd do. Just say the word.
Thanks, Zach. Maybe next time. Food is not really what we came here for.
Yeah, we came here to ask you about creepy ghost shit, and then go break into her place of work. Probably not the best plan, but I mean, like, that's what I'm guessing we're doing.
Ash, he's the one who...
She stumbles into one of her uncertain silences again before glancing my way. There's a plea in there for me to take the lead in this, but where do we start? The mansion? The strange things we've been seeing? The letter? Even I am afraid of what he might say. I can't even believe I'm considering taking a deeper look into this whole thing in the first place, but here I am.
Please don't tell me something happened again.
No, nothing. None so far, and we're keeping it that way as much as possible.
Ash, it's not that easy. This isn't some...
We don't know that. Let me...
Sometimes I amaze myself how much I try for her. But what else can I offer her? I was the first one who brushed her off. We've all been given our warnings that day. In that desperate, pleading tone of hers, I just stood there, judging her. This is the least I can do. Perhaps even to make up for all those other times I've hurt her.
Let me look at this first, okay? I agreed to help, but you've got to let me handle things from now on.
I already told you everything.
There must be something we're not seeing in this just yet. We'll sort this out, but no more silly ideas and running around on your own. You're making people worry more than necessary. Becca, especially.
So everything's fine?
Depends on who you're asking. How are things with you? Anything odd?
Good, I guess. Admittedly, how things went down at the housewarming party last night threw me off a bit.
I'm not asking about that. Remember the letter thing Isabella's been yapping on about? I'm asking about that kind of odd.
As expected, Seth starts to look at me like I've grown a second head. Yeah, I would too. If there were ever a universe where I was standing in front of myself. Because even as a child, I never believed in ghost stories. The Lucky Charms and mythical objects from my mother have often been stored away or given as paltry gifts to those who would appreciate them more.
Well, the dreams, they're a lot worse than usual. There's a woman now, ever since we saw that letter. I don't know if it's the same one Isabella talked about. Maybe it is, maybe it ain't. I really don't want to go back to sleep sometimes. Last night was the worst. Anyway, why are you asking about this?
Rose's death isn't just a coincidence, Zach. It may have something to do with... I may have...
Wait, stop right there for a sec, Bella. I thought you ain't buying this stuff, Ash. Just the other day, you said the exact same thing.
Granted, I haven't eliminated every single possibility here yet, but what else is there to go off of from here? The worried look Zach shoots my way doesn't help one bit in helping me gather my thoughts either. That's what I came here for. Somehow everyone's just suddenly so worried about me because you're the protagonist right now. That's what happens. It's not like I'm pulling this out of my ass.
I still don't, but even Rebecca, out of all people, claims there's something. Whatever this is, someone has got to look into it. Everything about this screams shady.
And along with Isabella's warnings, what occurs around Zach is happening around Luxborn since Isabella found that letter.
Have you two seen the news this morning?
Zach's puzzled expression is enough answer. Of course he hasn't. Another night, another nightmare. The guy most likely went out as soon as he got out of bed to shake the images off. Memories have never really left him. Isabella, though?
I haven't, actually. Mama called, and I was busy.
That could easily mean anything. Did her kuya, her older brother, end up in jail again? She's had to bail him out numerous times in the past, though all that did was piss her off, not sap every ounce of cheer in her. Or is it the other brother? The one who keeps insisting he'll quit school so she could come home? That was 2 years ago, as far as I know. She already sorted that one out. It couldn't have been her father, right? With the mansion sale, she has earned enough to cover every bill for a while. It should. So what is it then?
No problem. It should be in the afternoon news as well.
Whatever's bugging her, I doubt it's something meant for casual discussion. Else she would have mentioned it earlier. Tucking my curiosity for later, I take the remote and begin cycling through the channels. A distraction. Not a good one, I admit. It's definitely better than leaving her to brood. Eventually, I find one during a recap of the morning news. And there it is. The poor guy is unidentifiable with how badly his body's been burnt. Murder via arson? That'd be the logical explanation if I was the officer looking at it. Except, they couldn't find the source of the fire. The fire didn't even spread.
Found dead in the early hours of the morning today. The fire was contained within the room and no other tenants were harmed, according to Luxborn police.
They're going to consider spontaneous human combustion soon enough if they don't find anything else. What's important for everyone to note is the state of the room.
A similar writing was found in another victim's room from last week's incident. Both were employees of Briar Realty Corporation. LBN has reached out to the...
Like what happened to Cooper. Hell, I wonder how many other deaths like this I've missed while I've been looking into Right. The LPD is already thinking it's a serial killer at this point. How long until they consult the London Metropolitan? I'm not sure. The Anselm Butcher has always been an enigma enough to the people within the city. Gone for a few years, then in the next, one body after another is found. Merely handling the case has apparently driven the chief inspector insane years ago. He never did find out who committed those murders. Maybe now, this time.
This is because of that thing, isn't it? I did this somehow.
Her words come out like a whisper, but each syllable lingers in the air, heavy with guilt. In the thick tension of the room, they strike harsher than any of the other things we've said. However, she also has to understand, no, she isn't the one on this. No one asked her to take this upon herself. Rebecca won't. Zach won't. I sure as hell won't.
It ain't too late. We could still fix this. There's 3 of us here. 4 if you count Rebecca.
No, she's staying away from this.
No, she's involved! Everyone must be involved, goddammit!
I don't want to involve her in this any more than I already have. Both of you as well.
I already said it. That's completely out of the question. Stop asking.
Encouragements aside, this is still a whole fucking mess and we're in it blind. The only way to make sure is if we start running around like a bunch of headless chickens. But I have a concrete plan now, I think. Maybe Isabella's right. Maybe we should dig deeper into BRC itself. Maybe we are looking at it the wrong way. However, my suspicions are mine for the moment. The details are something Zach doesn't need to know until I have something to show. It's enough that he's aware that I have an idea in mind. For his part, Z-Man doesn't push it. Nothing but a heavy silence leads our departure hours later. Seriously, Zach would probably make a more responsible officer than me, if only he had the heart to join the force. He's too gentle for that. Gentle giant and all that. We could certainly use more kind people like him. But as good as that thought is, push all of it into the back of my mind as Isabella and I head for my car. Tonight, I can't stay distracted. Ooh, boy. Except for a few half-hearted attempts to get some kind of reaction from Isabella, the drive to BRC is a quiet, awkward affair. More so, the long wait for nightfall. Even with only the 2 of us, the place is rife with tense energy. Only a matter of minutes now. But the ticking seconds don't take the edge away. And for the 5th time, I reach out and fiddle with the radio, adjusting and turning the knobs with no real purpose. It's a nervous quirk I developed and never bothered to correct during stakeouts. Something to keep my mind occupied during long nights. What else is there for me to do? The person I usually count on for a casual, out-of-the-blue chat refuses my attempts at starting one.
Ash, out with it!
The way she quickly falters into silence after, in spite of the tone she takes, though. It makes me doubt if she really means everything she's telling me right now. She hasn't even glanced my way since we arrived.
Having second thoughts? You can still back out if you want.
We're just going to my office. Why should I?
Dunno? You can get in trouble, maybe. This isn't exactly legal.
I scope BRC out to see if the real estate company has any more information that may be of help. Things about Cooper and the other agents assigned to the Ermengarde mansion. According to Isabella, it's the last property the victims have worked on. So, I'm guessing that Cooper was someone who worked with him and who, either went missing or died. Sure, I can also check the station for full reports. That's the easy, semi-legal way. But I don't want to bump into the chief right now. The guys at the precinct will definitely throw me out on his orders as soon as they see me. Not that my plan right now is any better. I'm just breaking into a different place, more or less, with a civilian to boot. Latter still doesn't sit well with me. It never will, especially if this might put her in a very tricky position afterwards. She's been very careful when it comes to her work. Almost a model employee, as people would say. Why is she throwing caution to the wind now?
I'm not an employee here. I'm not supposed to be looking for any confidential stuff. Only people like you are privy to.
If you mentioned earlier that this is your plan, I might have had enough time to think about it. I already promised to help if you need access to those files. I didn't think you'd want to see them this soon and in this way. Besides, the same goes for you, right? You were taken off your case. Won't you get in trouble with your boss?
Honestly, it's a toss-up between breaking into her office or breaking into the Wright's mansion. As it stands, I'll have an easier time getting in here first. After all, why would someone want to break into a realty company? Been here many times before anyway, for a few casual visits when I wanted to bug Scaredy Cat. Over the years, I've more or less grown familiar with their security setup and how badly staffed they are. Plus, it's an old building. If the bankruptcy rumors are true, it just means their access protocols might also be outdated.
Still, I can do this on my own, you know.
Really? And how are you even planning to get into our office without an access card? Please explain.
Well, I was going to pry open the card reader and use a gecko.
You're a hopeless case. I really want to know why no one has locked you up yet.
Yet you're helping me with this. Willingly. I don't think that'll sit well with the Philippine embassy either. Chances are you'll probably get deported the minute they find out.
Low blow, I know. But it's worth a shot when she can still turn back. It's not like I don't know how any means to get... Not like I don't have any means to get into the place. With or without her, I have a way. Because life finds a way.
At least I have a reason to be snooping about. My badge and rank can speak for me in case things go south. You?
For a passing second, it seems to work. A hint of panic and hesitation flashes across her features when she looks to me with searching eyes. Then, unexpectedly, it dissolves, not behind the fear I'm anticipating, but underneath something sharp and searing. I'm not sure what she sees exactly, or what she's hoping to find in the short while she holds my gaze. All of it merely goes unspoken, and no longer than a minute later, she simply averts her attention back to the window, training it once again at some point outside.
Isabella, please, now's not the time.
It's too late for that, Ash. Give it a rest.
An appeal, spoken in a voice too harsh coming from her. Perhaps unintentional. Perhaps one that's already too exhausted of everything going on lately. It's hard not to concede when she takes that tone, and soon, despite myself, I sigh. Tucking away every concern I've been lugging around in favor of trusting her on this, affording her the same confidence she has implicitly given me all this time.
Alright, okay, if that's what you want. And don't worry. I didn't mean what I said earlier. I won't let anything happen to you.
Her lips briefly turn up in a smile, though none of the cheer reaches her eyes.
Just get this over with, okay? Everyone should be out of the office by now.
Somehow, the uncertainty in her posture makes me wonder if she intended it as some kind of comforting gesture. Whether it's for me or for her, she doesn't let me find out. Without a single word, she exits the car while I'm left scrambling and chasing after her. She's already at the side entrance, a hand raised on the card reader beside it, and another poised to push the door open when I catch up to her. Whatever doubt there has been in her face a while ago, it's gone. Seeing her like this makes it easier to believe my worries are unfounded, and that things might go smoothly this time.
And where do you think you kids are going? It's late. Most offices in this building have already closed up shop for the weekend.
Bloke seems friendly enough, though one can't really tell from his voice alone. He might be the wary sort for all I know. Keeping an unconcerned face and aloof air won't hurt until I've figured how to wiggle us out of this situation.
Just come back on Monday if you have important business.
But from the way Isabella's face brightens up, it looks as though getting through won't be too much of a problem. He's probably been working here for a few months already then. Maybe around 4 or 6 months max. Otherwise, he would have recognized Isabella or me at first glance. I haven't shown my face here since I've been assigned to the firm case a year ago. In the first place, none of their security officers ever lasted a year in service. The longest was around 7.5? I give this guy around that before he gets fired or finds a better paying job. Just for the moment, his too friendly attitude is almost a gift.
Hey, Seb!
Oh, look who we have here. Been a few days since I last saw that ponytail in here, Santiago?
Close enough!
Wait, don't tell me yet. I'll get it right this time. Sanchez!
You were closer the first time?
Drat. I swear it is on the tip of my tongue. I just need a hint to remember.
Take it back. Skeezer's not going to last past this month. He can't even remember a regular employee's name.
Alrighty, I'm sure of it this time. Centillon?
Still a ways off, Seb.
Isabella, we don't have all night.
I know, just let me handle this. Sorry, Seb. Some other time. We're in a bit of a hurry. I just need to get a few things from my cubicle. Important work stuff, you know? Is it okay if we drop upstairs for a sec?
Oh, absolutely. No, go right ahead. As long as you have your access card with you, we're good. Not sure if I'm allowed to let your boyfriend in, though.
Ah!
Who, me?
My what?
Your boyfriend. The guy with you, isn't he?
That's a fair observation, if I do say so myself. Needless to say, the silence that descends is both uncomfortable and terribly awkward. Although the latter is probably coming mostly from me, because in the next second, Isabella laughs. Laughs! Lighter than the ones I've heard from her lately. A comforting sound, really, after seeing her in a dour mood since this morning. Even as all of that subsides into mere chuckles sooner than I'd like. It's comforting to see that I'm at least partially responsible for it, despite my poor good heart being beaten to a sorry pulp.
Oh. Oh, no! No. He's definitely not my boyfriend.
She might as well have set it on fire and reduced it to ashes while she's at it. Frankly, the number of no's in that sentence is almost a bit too much. Christ, one would have been enough to get the message across. Did she really have to put it that way?
That's impossible! Stop being funny, Seb. I'll go on ahead, okay?
She quickly shuffles inside with nothing more than a small wave, leaving behind an even more awkward atmosphere for me to wade through. It would have been bearable if I didn't have to suffer through a stranger's amusement. Alas, woe is me.
Not the boyfriend, but close to it, huh?
Mind your own business.
Kids these days. Good to see her up and about, though. Thought for sure she'd up and disappear like the others.
Excuse me?
You know, stuff in the news.
You mean what happened with Rose Cooper?
I'm gonna be stuck with this guy for a while. I might as well try to gather as much intel as I can. He may just be a guard, someone with no real authority, but most of the time, people like him are the ones who know more than they let on.
Yeah, but even before that, we've got a couple of good blokes we never saw again.
Really? Those guys could have just resigned for all you know.
Dunno, I only catch tidbits of stuff from over here. Though seriously, I heard the branch is getting flushed soon, but that's no excuse for anarchy. Figures why Boss Man's been in an awful temper these past months.
They managed to strike a good deal with the mansion in Ansem, right? That didn't do the trick?
Didn't seem like it. The bloke shouting like no tomorrow again. Wasn't very pleased when Gurley called and asked for another leave yesterday afternoon.
Gurley? Isabella?
It's not too surprising, considering she's already been gone for 3 days. Now she's asking for another. Not that it's a bad thing. It's within her rights as an employee, but Isabella rarely uses her work leaves.
Yeah, poor lassie if you ask me. She found him a buyer for that mansion after all. The least he could do is be considerate to her after a family member's passing.
Wait, what?
What? The rumors, BRC, Rose Cooper, missing in action employees, all of it ceases to matter in that instant. Almost on instincts, my eyes zero in on the intercom speaker, as if staring daggers at it will show me the man behind the voice so I can see the truth in his face myself.
Oh, you don't know?
No, what?
Nothing. I shouldn't be the one you're asking, and, things might get a bit boring here. No one really wants to hear what a poor old guard wants to say. Why don't you just go after her? As long as you're not looking to create trouble for me, it won't be a problem. You aren't here for that, right?
He's lucky I'm not here to hurt anyone. If I were someone with ill intentions, he might not be smiling at the end of the day.
Well, no, but...
I'll go and unlock that side entrance for you then. Just don't forget to turn off the lights before you both leave, okay?
Hey, wait a second. What do you mean by...
He cuts off the connection before I can finish, and the rest of the question dies in my throat. Soon, the latch clicks and the side door swings open. The Seb, a stout man wearing a uniform too loose for him, waves me over from the gap before he disappears behind his station again. Just my luck. Here I thought I'm going to have to count on whatever Isabella brings with her. Although no matter how much I want to feel happy, something else has already taken a firm seat in the forefront of my mind. Is that why she's been acting not like herself today? Since when? Of course, as I step into the building, I try to push off all these questions as far down as I can. I need to focus. Work is work. What if what if what I've heard is exactly what I think it is? if it's a sign of things to come. Honestly, I don't feel too good about that. Alrighty, and I am sorry, but we are at time for this episode. So, we're gonna pick it up here next time when he goes up to check on Isabella. And dear God, I hope nothing bad is happening. Because you know what? You never split the party when bad things like this happen, especially at night! Jesus. God, the thing... That's right, Marianne was the only one who played D&D. Fuck! Damn, this is just not going well. But, either way, thank you everybody so much for watching. I appreciate you being here with me. Next time, we're gonna keep on going with Ashton. Try to, you know, keep Isabella and everyone from dying. And hopefully get to the end of this fucking mystery. Because it's all coming to a head. Everything's all coming to a head. And I don't know what's going on. But I want to know. I want to know what's going on. I want to figure this shit out. So, that's what we're going to work on next time. So, thanks again, and until next time, have yourselves a beautiful day, my beautiful, beautiful viewers.